ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पता न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्ये नमो नमः। वेद वेदांग विद्यास्थानिभ्यः च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We'll read the sutras. अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा जन्माद्यस्य यतः शास्त्रयोनित्वात् तत्तो समन्वयात् ईक्षतेर्ना शब्दम्. Let us read 1-2 pages. Page 104, second paragraph. न सांख्य परिकल्पितम् अचेतनं प्रधानं जगतः कारणं शक्यं वेदान्तेषु आश्रयितुम् अशब्दं हि तत् कथम् अशब्दत्वम् ईक्षतेः ईक्षितित्र श्रवणा कारणस्य कथम् एवं हि श्रूयते सदेव सौम्य इदमग्र आसीत् एकमेवाद्वितीयम् इत्युपक्रम्य तदैक्षत बहुस्याम् प्रजायेयेति तत्तेजोसृजत इति तत्र इदं शब्दवाच्यम् नाम रूप व्याकृतं जगत् प्राक् उत्पत्तेः सदात्मनावधार्य तस्यैव प्रकृतस्य सच्छब्दवाच्यस्य ईक्षणपूर्वकम् तेजः प्रवृत्तेः स्रष्टृत्वं दर्शयति तथान्यत्र आत्मा वा इदम् एक एवाग्र आसीत् नान्यत् किञ्चन मिषत् स ईक्षत लोकान्नुसृजा इति स इमान् लोकान् सृजत इति ईक्षा पूर्विकाम् एव सृष्टिम् आचष्टे क्वचिच्च षोडशकलम् पुरुषं प्रस्तुत्य आह स ईक्षाञ्चक्रे स प्राणम् असृजत इति ईक्षतेः इति च धात्वर्थनिर्देशः अभिप्रेतः यजतेः इतिवत् न धातुनिर्देशः तेन यः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववित् यस्य ज्ञानमयं तपः तस्मादेतद्ब्रह्म नामरूपमन्नं च जायते इति एवम् आदीनि अपि सर्वज्ञेश्वरकारणपराणि वाक्यानि उदाहर्तव्यानि यत्तु उक्तं सत्त्वधर्मेण ज्ञानेन सर्वज्ञं प्रधानं भविष्यतीति तन्नोपपद्यते न हि प्रधानावस्थायाम् गुणसाम्यात् सत्यधर्मो ज्ञानं सम्भवति ननोक्तं सर्वज्ञानशक्तिमत्त्वेन सर्वज्ञं भविष्यतीति तदपि नोपपद्यते यदि गुणसाम्ये सति सत्त्वव्याप्यपाश्राम् सत्त्व सत्तत्त्वव्याप्याश्रयाम् ज्ञानशक्तिम् आश्रित्य सर्वज्ञम् प्रधानमुच्येत कामं रजस्तमो व्यापाश्रयामपि ज्ञानप्रतिबन्धक शक्तिम् आश्रित्य किञ्चित् ज्ञम् उच्यते अपि च न असाक्षिका सत्त्ववृत्तिर्जानाति नाभिधीयते न च अचेतनस्य प्रधानस्य साक्षित्वम् अस्ति तस्माद् अनुपपन्नम् प्रधानस्य सर्वज्ञत्वम् योगिनां तु चेतनत्वात् सत्त्वोत्कर्षनिमित्तम् सर्वज्ञत्वम् उपपन्नम् इति अनुदाहरणम्। अथ पुनः साक्षी निमित्तम् ईक्षितृत्वम् प्रधानस्य कल्पेत यथा अग्निनिमित्तम् अयःपिण्डादेः दग्धृत्वम् तथा सति यन्निमित्तम् ईक्षितृत्वम् प्रधानस्य तदेव सर्वज्ञं मुख्यं ब्रह्म जगतः कारणम् इति युक्तम् यत् पुनः उक्तम् ब्रह्मणोऽपि न मुख्यं सर्वज्ञम् सर्वज्ञत्वम् उपपद्यते नित्यज्ञानक्रियत्वे ज्ञानक्रियां प्रति स्वातन्त्र्य असम्भवात् इति अत्रुच्यते। इदं तावत् भवान् प्रष्टव्यः कथं नित्यज्ञानक्रियत्वे सर्वज्ञत्वहानिरिति। यस्य हि सर्वविषयावभासनक्षमं ज्ञानम् नित्यमस्ति सः असर्वज्ञः इति विप्रतिषिद्धम्। अनित्यत्वे हि ज्ञानस्य कदाचित् जानाति कदाचित् न जानाति असर्वज्ञत्वम् अपि स्यात्। नासौ ज्ञाननित्यत्वे दोषोऽस्ति ज्ञाननित्यत्वे ज्ञानविषयः स्वातन्त्र्यव्यपदेशो नोपपद्यते इति चेत् न प्रततौष्णप्रकाशे अपि सवितरि दहति प्रकाशयतीति स्वातन्त्र्यव्यपदेशदर्शनात्। Let us see. Yesterday we saw the general meaning of this sutra. ईक्षतीर्ना शब्दम् And what we saw in this particular sutra, that the Achetan Karanvad of the Sankhya and all other darshan, that world is born from matter or jad, which is in our mind also. Because we also think that there is something called inert and something called consciousness. We have divided the world into two parts. One is inert, other is consciousness. And this division makes very difficult, because the anantata of the Chetan cannot be proved. And therefore, you heard yesterday that ikshater na shabdam, this sutra is meant to establish to refute the Achetan Karanvad of Sankhya and through Sankhya of other darshan also. So two things are there to establish. First, the Chetan Karanvad Isthapanam and Achetan Karanvad Nirasanam. This is the two purpose of this particular sutra, which you saw yesterday. If you remember, I had taken the point, and this, the Vishayavakya, the corresponding statement in the Upanishad, is Sadev Swamidam Agre Asit. That means this was in the mind of Bhagavan Veda Vyasa when he wrote this particular sutra. And this sutra is used to tell the Chetanta as the Karan of the Jagat and not the Pradhan. So two things we saw. What were the two things? Pradhanam na Jagat Karanam. This Pradhan is not the Jagat Karan. Ashabdatvat. Ashabd means apramanatvat. Here ashabd means what? From Shabd Praman Rahit. You have to get habituated to this language of the sutras. Sutras are saying in short, Alpakshara. So this is the first point. And second point, that Sat Shabda Vachyam is not Pradhanam. Pradhan is not mentioned by the Sat word because Ikshitru Shavanat. Because in 6.2.3 Tadaikshat word has been used, and therefore this is not for Pradhan, because Pradhan being dead cannot do the work of visualization or ikshana. This is the 2 points which are now being discussed. The rest of the point I have already seen. We saw that there is this section, first chapter has 4 padas, and first pad means section. First section has Spashta Brahmalinga Vakyani, and second will be have Aspashta Brahmalinga Vakyani. The Shruti statement where it is clearly said that Brahman is the cause, and second you have to infer, you have to do some kind of logical inferences. So that we had seen, and we also saw that this is the 5th adhikaran called Ikshatya adhikaran. Ikshati adhikaran. And this has 7 sutras in this 5th adhikaran. Now, let me come to the word analysis which we were yesterday thinking about that. So there are three words in this particular sutra. What are the three words? Three words are Ikshatehe. First word is Ikshatehe. Second word is Na. And third word is Ashabdam. There are three words. Ikshatehe. Second word is Na. And third shabd is Ashabdam. As you know the sutra, you have to add certain word to get the meaning of that. Let us go to the word Ikshatehe first. So it has come from the root Iksha. Iksha. Which conjugation it is? First conjugation. 1A. 1A. Atmanepadi root is there. Ikshatehe. Ikshate word can make it out that it is Atmanepadi root. So Ikshate. How come Ikshatehe is there? Ikshate should be there, we can understand. Ikshatehe. There is no misprinting, don't correct it. So in Sanskrit, we have many verbs. Like gacchati is there, yachati is there, pathati is there. Generally, after the verb, there is never a visarg you will hear. It is never gacchatihi, patatihi, ramayam yamyatihi. But, please note this point, maybe new. If after a verb, visarg is added, you all know Sanskrit, so there is no difficulty. If after a verb, visarg is added, it refers to the root of the verb. If after a verb, so if gacchati is there, and after gacchati I put a visarg called gacchatihi, so it is referring to the root called gam. Gam gach is the root. Okay. It is indicating the going action. It is indicating the function of action. So it is converted into a noun. Again, I will repeat it. Like I say, gacchati means he goes. Rama gacchati. Krishna gacchati. So gacchati is a verb there. But when I say gacchatihi, so gacchatihi is now has become a noun, where it is not that I am indicating somebody is going, but goingness is indicated. Goingness is indicated. Goingness is not a noun. I mean, it's not a verb. It has become a noun now. Okay. Like pathatihi. So pathati will be associated with a certain nominative thing. Who is studying? Some balika pathati. Some girl is studying. Brahmachari pathati. So here this is a movement is there in the verb. Every verb is characterized by a movement. Eating, walking, talking, thinking, sleeping. seeing. But noun is not associated with the movement. I say, Surya prakashyati. So prakashyati is indicating some kind of movement, change. But Surya word is not indicating any change. Difference is this between noun and verb. So noun is the one which acts, but the action, wherever action is involved, there is a change involved. So gachati word will be indicating an action of going, but gachatihi word is not an action of going, it is actionness. So it has become a stable thing now. Okay. This is the important point. So ikshate is a root, is a verb. Ikshate. Ikshate. But supposing I say ikshatihi. So this is seeingness. And I have converted the verb ikshati, ikshati into a noun now. And now I will decline this like mati. So mati will be declined as matihi, mati, mataya. Matim, mati. Huh? Then matya, matibhyam, matibhi. Fourth case, matya or matyai. Two forms are there. Matibhyam, matibhyah. Fifth case, matyaha or matehe. Both forms are there. Matibhyam and matibhyah. Now come back to ikshati. So how it will decline? Ikshatihi, ikshati, ikshatayah, ikshatim, ikshati, ikshatihi, ikshatya, ikshatibhyam, ikshatibihi. Fourth case, ikshate, ikshatye, ikshate-bhyam, ikshate-bhyah. Fifth case, ikshate-he. Here I want to come. Oh, here you want to come. I did not know that. Ikshate-bhyam, ikshate-bhyah. I'm not going to say all 7 cases. Rest you should know mati. I always say, please give few minutes to Sanskrit. If you don't give, it is your loss. Okay? And more a person is weak, more time you should give. If you don't give, that means you are too strong in Sanskrit. Now, fifth case is ikshatehe. So how will you translate it? Because of seeingness. There you go. It has become a hetu now. So because of the visualization function, because of seeingness, it's called hetu. So the ikshatehe word in the sutra has come like this. Ikshatehe. Okay. This is how ikshatehe word has come. Ikshatehe. And the na word is there. Ikshatehe. And na word is there. Ra is there. Sasajushuru is there. Both are different words. Ikshate is different and na is different words. And these there in between. Only because of the visualization function. Ab here Bhagwan Bhashyakar does not know for what. is an incomplete set. Bhai, if you say because of, whenever hetu is there, you have to say sadhya. Sadhya is there, then hetu is there. He is not here. This is the pratigya. Then you say because car is not, his car is not here. Therefore he has left. Because his car is not there. This is incomplete set. If you are saying because his car is not there, then you have to say the pratigya of sadhya also. Then you say he is not there. So if you say because his car is there, the full stop. And what? Now you have to supply here. This is where your bhashya comes to help you out. So what he will say now? What is the conclusion? What is the conclusion now? Not in the sutra. He will say, Bhaskar is supplying now that because of this process of visualization, ikshatehe sat karanam na pradhanam. So how will you put in Sanskrit? Sat shabd vachyam na pradhanam. Sat word is not for pradhanam. You have to add it. So in the sutra, where ikshatehe word is there, you after ikshatehe or before ikshatehe, you add in bracket, sat shabd vachyam na pradhanam. By the word sat, pradhanam is not mentioned. Because of the process of ikshana, because of the process of visualization. You write it on your notebook. You cannot write on the book. Because book is already too much things are written in the book. You don't have space. They did not know, otherwise between two books they would have put one page. But you should have a separate copy for Brahma Sutra. Because this is not that easy topic. I am trying to put what is in the Bhashya in the form which can be understood easily. So how will you say now? Ikshatehe sat shabda vachyam na pradhanam. Because of the process of visualization, the word sat is not pradhan. Na ashabdam, you wait for that. Don't hurry. We will talk about that later on. Don't mix it here. Well, but why did not Bhagwan Ved Vyas wrote this? It won't be sutra then. Alpaksharam asandigdam sarvat vishwatu mukham is the sutra. If long things have to be written, then the purpose is defeated. But why the sutra should be so short? You have to by heart it. So, ikshatehe sat shabda vachyam na pradhanam. I hope this is clear now. Well, yes, very, very clear. So, how the word ikshatehe has come, you should understand. When without bhashya I saw first time, ikshate, I said, what is problem? Ikshate is not a word. How did they make this? Ikshate, they didn't know that you can convert into noun and then the fifth case will be there, then hetu has been given in ikshate. Either you say ikshate, either you say ikshe. Ikshate kaise kar diya? No? So this is how the word has been formed. Okay. Now a series of question and answer will come with Bhashyaka and Purva. Okay. Which is mentioned in your Bhashya. I will give you point wise. What is the Sat Shabda Vachyam? What is inference? Sat Shabda Vachyam na pradhanam ikshatehe. Now you write one sentence straight away. I said right before or after? Now let us write it before now. Sat Shabda Vachyam na pradhanam ikshatehe. After pradhanam, put comma. You are making sadhya or pratigya and then hetu. Generally, the pratigya can be written after hetu also, then it will become nigman. And if you write it before hetu, it is pratigya. Now, Bhashyakar goes on answering certain points by Sankhya. So Sankhya said one point. He said, I have what you said because of ikshan. This sat word cannot refer to pradhanam. Boli, but I have my objection. Boli, what objection you have? What objection? What is your problem? Boli, I think pradhanam can also visualize. Pradhanam can also visualize, yes. How come? Because pradhanam is made of three gunas. What is it? We always say that trigunatmikam is pradhanam. Sattvagun is there, rajogun is there, and tamogun is there. Well, yes. You agree that? Well, of course I agree. I also agree on that. That pradhanam is composed of three gunas, or trigunatmika prakriti is there, that we have been seeing since long. Well, yes. And you agree, or that's by Sattvagun Gyan comes. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evcha pramada moho tamasah bhavatva jnanam evcha. In 14th chapter, you have heard this. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. If a person has more Sattvagun, he is more bright. सत्वात संजायते ज्ञानम नहीं याद है रजसो लोभ एवच प्रमाद मोहो तवसः भवतो ज्ञानम एवच. So if Sattvagun is there, Gyan will be there. If somebody has more Sattvagun, that means he has more knowledge. What you call, he is a brilliant person. Brilliancy is nature of Sattvagun. Tamogun is there, Gyan is not there, you doesn't understand. Pramada moho tamasa bhavata jnanam evcha. So those who are writing such books, commentary which you have in the hand, Ratna Prabha is there, and then they must be having lot of Sattvagun to write that. Our Sattvagun get exhausted in 1 hour, half an hour. But they were giving 10 hours in studying this and writing this. Their Sattvagun is too high. So my point is, Sankhya is saying that because pradhanam is constituted of the three gunas and it has Sattvagun also, so Sattvagun will produce Gyan. Okay. So wherever Sattvagun is there, Jnanam has to be there. But yes. Sarva dvareshu dehesmin jnanam yada tada vriddha. When all the sense organ exhibit the knowledge, then you say that this person is sattvic. If you had a good sleep in the night, which you have, I hope so, and after you get up, you are very bright. You say, wow, what a nice sunshine is there. That bird is flying. All these bird is flying. You are, because your Sattvagun is too much. Sarvadvareshu desmin prakasha upajayate. But same bird flies before you are sleeping. Or you are having tamogun. You don't appreciate that bird is flying and what a nice sentence is. So then Sankhya said, because the pradhanam has the Sattvagun, and therefore, it has Jnanam also. Oh, and because it has Jnanam, And Pradhanam is Samashti. So if I have Vyashti Sattuguna, I know little. Vyashti Sattuguna, I know little subject. And supposing I have more Sattuguna, I can know a lot. And if Vyashti is existing, then Samashti is also existing. Same rule. Whatever is in Vyashti, Vidatha Pindi Tatha Brahmandi. And whatever is existing in the Vyashti, in a very finite form, is existing in Samashti, in infinite measure. You've heard that. You haven't heard. That if earth element is there, so there is a Samashti earth element which is Anant only. Little water is there. Anant water is there. Anything which is existing in a finite form has the corresponding Anantata existing in the macrocosm. We have finite knowledge. We know some subject. We know little subject. At least I know where is my glasses kept, where is my pant kept, where is my shirt kept. I have now some knowledge. So this little Sattvagun that I have in very finite measure must have come from the infinite Sattvagun which is there in infinite measure. So he is saying, the Sankhya is saying, that this infinite Sattvagun which is there is in Pradhanam. And therefore Pradhanam has infinite knowledge. Well, so my point is, Tadaikshat word has been used. Here Tat is referring to Pradhanam Aikshat. See how they think. How they think you can't think. Pradhanam Aikshat. That means Pradhan has thought, not the Purush. Because Pradhan itself is composed of Sattvagun. And therefore Ikshan word is not the copyright of Purush only. Ikshan word can be used for Pradhanam also. And therefore not only Ikshan, but Kamatvam, So Kamayata, or Sarvajñatvam, these three words can be equally used for Pradhanam because knowledge is in Pradhanam. Follow that chain of argument which will be going on now. If you say I can escape everything and go to the next sutra. Next sutra. There is no end to the sutras. We are on the fifth sutra. There are 555 sutras. Only I don't think so in this lifetime we need many lives to know all sutras. Now answer has given been Bhash. You can make it S or Sankhya and then you say Bhagwan Shankaracharya. You can make it. When you go, you can make it fair notes or at least underline that. All these are in the Bhashya. I am telling you just so that you don't get very disturbed. And just now I read everything. The thing what I read today is this only. Oh, and after knowing this again you read the Bhashya. You will get at least 70% of what is said, if not 100%. Bhashkar said no. This Sattvagun will not be of the Sankhya. Only why? Only how much Sattvagun may be there in the Pradhanam. It cannot do anything because it is inert. You only said it is inert. Only you mean to say that the Sattvagun cannot know? No. Why? Because inert cannot function by itself. There is one definition of Jadatva, that it cannot do any function by itself. So Jad has one definition that which does not know anything. And one definition is there, that which cannot do anything by itself. Anything cannot work by itself. And knowing is an action. And therefore this action of knowing cannot be done by pradhanam, howsoever it may have sattva. Pradhanam cannot visualize. Knowingness, the sattva is the one through which something is known. But sattva by itself does not know. See the difference. Sattva is there. So sattva, through sattva one can know a lot. If you have more sattva, you can know a lot. But by itself you cannot know. By itself sattva cannot know, it is inert. It's like a very high resolution microscope. Through a high resolution microscope you can see. This is how blood test is done. If you go and see the laboratory, so there is very high resolution micro. They put little blood sample there and they put into microscope. And this is how the shape of the coronavirus they made, like a crown is there. The coronavirus is like a crown. Like this. How did they see it? Because of the high resolution microscope. Very high resolution. This virus you cannot see with your naked eye. Some people can't see the person also with the naked eye. What to say virus? So, that even something is in front, they don't see, they're lost somewhere. So this microscope can see what is the shape of the virus. It can be in very But it is an object. It is an object. It is a particle, very small part. So small you cannot see. Here also viruses are there. In the plane, when you go in the flight, the same air circulates, that is the worst. So there is a virus and bacteria is all in the air. There is no ventilation. Therefore they say when you get up in the morning, please open your windows. Open your windows. And why my window you put something I can't open it. I thought insect will come, this is sneak. Sattva is the one through which you know. But microscope cannot know. It is inert. Catch this point. Bhashyakar gives a reply that Sattva is the one through which you can know. I have no problem. Yes, if more Sattva is there, you will know a lot. No doubt. But by itself, per se, Sattva cannot know. Because it is inert. You only said, I am not saying, you only said Pradhan is inert. I am using your definition of Pradhan. This is the answer to this question of Sankhya. Now Sankhya has a counter, like the Purupaksh, and this goes on, they have continuation. And every Purupaksh and Siddhant Paksh discussion will open up and make yourself clear about a certain object. Okay, now the Sankhya said, okay, I accept that Pradhan is inert and Prakriti is inert, and therefore a Chetan is there, it cannot know. Well, I accept it. Will you accept? Of course I accept. Why a Chetan is there, which cannot, chair cannot know, table cannot, as this is inert, similarly that is inert. Somebody said one thing, one question is there. Only this, this computer has everything what human mind can do. Computer can do everything what human mind can do. What is the difference between the computer and human mind then? And that also misbehaves. Computer also misbehaves. Computer is also very intelligent. ROM is there, RAM is there. Everything computer can know if you put it, search. So it will give you the object. If you just put in search. And now they have, okay Google, you say, you search this. So when I was in Jaipur, and one Somesh ji was there. So he was, while driving, used to say, Maheshwar, call Maheshwar. So the immediately phone used to call. I never used such feature. It is like that. So it used to catch and call. What is that? Then what is the difference between computer? It is inert, everything is inert. The difference is that it is acting on the programmed knowledge, and consciousness is not acting through it. That no consciousness is knowing what computer is knowing. There is no sukh-dukh in the computer. So inert computer is only giving you the programmed ideas. What it is programmed is there. It is not knowing it. Aham janami, this knowledge is not in the computer. And when the knowledge is there in the human mind, it is always saying aham idam janami. So Sankhya said, see, I agree. Why you were saying, I agree that Pradhanam is Achetan, and therefore it cannot know. But I am saying it can still know because of its association with the Purush. So Purush Sannidhyat Achetana Pradhanam Chetan Vat Bhavitum Arhati. It is not Pradhan, it is not Chetan, I agree. But because of its association with the Purush, which is conscious, the Pradhan gets the capacity to visualize. So, Purusha Sannidhyat Acetanam Pradhanam Chetanvad Bhavitum Arhati. Because of its association with the Purush, the inert Prakriti or Pradhan as if acts like a conscious entity. Acha? Yes. Sharirvat, like the body. Like body is inert by nature. But because of its association with the consciousness, this body acts like a conscious entity. And we say also that body is conscious. This is not Bhashikar saying. Sankhya is saying that. Don't mix it. Body is Achet. But body sees, if you prick somebody's body, he will react to it. Because body is has gathered the consciousness. Body has become conscious. So if the body is unconscious or body is inert, you take away the consciousness like they do in the operation. So you can cut the body, the person will not know because body is unconscious. You can operate. So he is not aware of that. But when he is back into the consciousness, then he starts feeling the pain. This is his answer. Purushad Sanidhyat. Sanidhyat. I'm repeating it. I'm saying in Sanskrit also, in English also. Purushad Sanidhyat. Achetanaha Acetanam api pradhanam. Chetanvad bhavitum arhati. Although it is an inert, but it acts like a sentient. Vrittivat and Sharirvat. Like the vritti and like the body also. Vritti is also jad, but it acts as if it is conscious. And like the body, it is inert, but body is also appearing as a conscious. Is it clear? Not clear? What in Sanskrit one? Chetanvad bhavitum arhati. It should be taken as it is as a conscious being, conscious entity. So Bhashyakar gives two arguments to this question. The first argument you will see. He said no. Whatever I say, you will say no. No, not like that. But your point is not okay. No, but it is so right. I am saying the right thing. I am saying the right thing. No, you are not saying the right thing. Why? How will you prove the Chaitanta everywhere then? In the body, how will you prove Chaitanta? Sankhya is asking. In the vritti, how will you prove Chaitanta then? If you are saying no. No, but you only have created a problem for yourself. How come? You said Purush is Asanga. And then you are saying Purush Sambandhat. In the association with the Purush. When you say the Purush is Asanga, then Purush Sanidhyat is not possible in you. There is no association with the Purush if you have said Purush is Asanga. Please catch. You said Asanga means which cannot associate with anything. When the Purush cannot associate with anything, how come it got associated with the Pradhan and landed the consciousness there? It was Asanga. I am not taking anything else. I am just repeating what you have said. So, Purushasya asangatvat Purush sambandha vashat pradhanam sarvagyam bhavati. What you are saying, na shakyate. Vaktum na shakyate. I am repeating it. What is saying? Purushasya asangatvat. Purushasya asangatvat. Purusha sambandh vashat pradhanam sarvagyam bhavati. This is their statement. Purushasya asangatvat. Purusha sambandh vashat pradhanam sarvagyam bhavati chetanam bhavati. This is your statement. Vaktum na shakyate. You don't say like that. Now you cannot say like that. Because you said Purush is Asanga. Vaktum na shakyate. You cannot say like that. You have to hold to your point what you have said. You cannot now mix Purush, because Purush is Asanga. Asanga itself means it doesn't join with anybody. You cannot have association of Purush. You are saying, no, that blessings of Purush is there and therefore Pradhan is functioning. In the company, in the association of the Pradhan, because of the association of the Purush, the Pradhan is acting. This is what you are saying. This is not right. Because your Purush, you have said it is Asanga. Is it okay? So, Achetan Prakriti Jagat Karanam na bhavitum arhati, therefore it cannot be Jagat Karanam. This is our conclusion. Bole, no, I have to still say, Sankhya is coming back now. You can mark it where Sankhya is there, where answer has been given. If you don't mark it, you will get confused. Sankhya said, Bole, but you know, you also say that your Purush is Asanga. If I say something, then you also say that Asango hi ayam Purushaha. You don't say like that. Bole, yes. Divyo yamurta Purusha sa bhaya abhyantaro yajaha. So you also say that Purush is Asanga. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spraha. Whole Vedant, you don't say that the Chetan is Asanga. If you say Asanga, no problem. I say Asanga is problem. You are saying, Sankhya is now saying to Bhashyakar that you also keep on saying that Purush is Asanga. And you also say that in association with the Chetan, the Prakriti acts. Mayadhyakshena Prakriti suyate sacharaj. Oh, you are taking my quotation. Yes. So you also say that Purush is associated with the Prakriti. You don't say like that. Well, we say that. You don't say that the Prakriti and Purush both are acting and we have Ardhanarishwar and all these things. So you always say that the Prakriti is associated with the Purush. When you say that Purush is Asanga and you associate the Prakriti with the Purush, then it is okay. And if I say it is false. You got the argument? Mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarvbhuta nam tato bhavati bharata. What is the difference between your Asangata and my Asangata? Only there is a big difference. Now Bhashyakar is giving the answer. See, therefore, those who are interested in Vedanta, they'll enjoy this Purpaksh. And those who are not, they feel when it will end. They get very scared moment Purpaksh. Only in my Purush can be Asanga also and Sasanga also. In Advait Vedanta. Well, how come something can be Asanga also and Sasanga also at the same time? Well, I'm telling you, listen. When you talk, I'm not talking. So when I'm talking, you keep quiet and listen to what I'm saying. Well, how come? Well, I'm telling you. How the Purush can be associated with the Prakriti and not associated with the Prakriti also. Why? Dhyan dena, please be careful. When two things are having different existences, and then if one is totally asang, it cannot be attached with another. If two things A and B are there, and A is totally asang, then you cannot bring the B associated with A, because A is another level of reality, B is another level of reality, and both are detached. But if B is mithya and A is satyam, then B can be associated with A. The association of something which is asanga cannot be there with something if something else is also existing. But if something is of the nature of illusion, and A, although it is asang, it can still coexist with satyam, can coexist with mithya. Because in Vedanta, Prakriti is not having a separate existence. It is not a separate existence of the Prakriti. And Prakriti is mithya. And therefore, and Purush alone is Sat. And Purush alone is Asang. And therefore, Asang Purush and Mithya Prakriti can coexist. I hope this is clear. So, Paramarthik Drishtya Purusha Asangha, Vyavaharik Drishtya to Purusha Sasangha. From the absolute level, Purush is Asanga. But from Maya Drishti and from Paramarthik Drishti, Purush can act as if it is Sasanga. Here, as if word is used. Okay. Only how is it possible two things are opposite and coexisting? Light and darkness can coexist. Light and darkness can coexist or not? Dark night is there. Can you experience bright sun in the dark night or not? You can. How can I exist dark night? Totally pitch dark room is there, still you can experience bright sunlight. No. Yes. How come? I'm telling you. If you are sleeping in the dark night and you dream, and in the dream you have a bright day. You see the example. Because the dream is mithya. The mithya light can be experienced with the real darkness. So reality has no problem with coexisting with the mithyatva. You see the difference? This is where they are caught now. Get the point? Don't miss the point. If you miss this point, you will miss a lot. In your point, the problem was that you made the Prakriti a real thing. And therefore, the real Prakriti cannot mix with the Asanga Purush, which is also real. And in our point, because the Prakriti is not a reality, it's a shadow. It's the non-real thing. It's asat. It's mithya. Because of its mithya nature, it can exist with the asanga purush. So on its essential nature, purush is asanga still from our point. But apparent nature of the purush is as if it is sasanga. So absolute and real nature of the Purush is still Asanga. But appearing nature, apparent nature is sasanga. Like the dark room is the reality, one who is sleeping in the dark room. But apparently, because in the dream, still he can experience the light. There's a difference between. So one is the absolute nature. Yes, Purush is asanga. But you cannot put an apparent nature because you have not thought that Prakriti is apparent and mithya. We are never saying that Prakriti is a reality. And therefore we can say Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharachara. So in the presence of the consciousness, Prakriti is functioning. We can say that. You cannot say that. You cannot use that now. You don't try to associate that. You are writing, you say pen is writing. So pen is writing is not the right statement. You have to say in the presence of my hand or myself pen is writing. You can't say pen is writing. Got my point? And therefore Bhagavan says in Gita, Matsthani Sarvbhutani. Whole world is in me. Then he says, Na chaham tesho, I'm not in them. ध्यान देना. He says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarvbhutani na chaham tesho avasthita. Whole world is in me. This is a relative statement. Next slok he says, Nacha matsthani bhutani. What a statement. There is no world in me. From absolute level, he is not associated with the world. From the Vyavharik level, he as if appears as associated with the world. And therefore, I can say that Purush is apparently appearing as associated with the Prakriti. But you cannot say that. This is argument number 1. Don't forget what was the train of argument. How the whole thing is started. Where from the argument came first, second, we kept on saying like that. You've written it, no? How it is started, how they said. Okay. This is only first argument. And please go back in your room, read the Bhash. And you see that argument is started by such shabd, Prakriti Pradhan is not mentioned. He said no. If Ikshan is your cause, Ikshan can be done in Pradhan also because Satgun is there. Then answer was given that Satgun is inert. So there is somebody through Satgun. Satgun directly, I get example of microscope. He said, okay, I have no problem, but the Purush Sambandhat, because of the association with the Purush, the Prakriti is as if acting as a Chetat. Like the body and like the mind. Then answer was given, Bhaishkar, you don't bring Purush because your Purush is Asang and Prakriti is a different. Then he said, no, your Purush is also Asang. But my Purush is Asang, but my Prakriti is not Satya as your Prakriti is Satya. My Prakriti is Mithya Maya, Abhasi. And Abhas can exist with the reality. So Purush has two status. One is absolute level Purush is Asang. And relative Purush Sasang Vad Bhati. So Divya Purusha Prakritehe Sanyogat Sasangvat Vyavaharti. So that Asang Purush is acting as a Sasang Purush, and then you say that its property is transferred in the Jad, then there is no problem. This is the first line of argument. Next we will see tomorrow. Time is over. You make your notes and see your Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om